Yo, what up guys, it's your boy here, Judah Yuki, giving you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 episode review for you guys. This is going to be the review for episode 130, so here we go. Before I start off the episode, I want to start off by saying that before I started watching this episode, I wasn't 100% too excited about this episode. I wasn't sure how to feel about it. When I saw the preview, I was like, oh, Kaito and Edo are going to get, I guess, in the middle of this duel, and that kind of worried me and kind of distracted me from, the duel we would rather see, which is just Yugo versus Yuri. So I wasn't too hyped about it. I felt like it was unnecessary beforehand, but for some reason when I watched this episode, I was actually pleasantly surprised with how much I really liked it. I was watching it and I was really enjoying myself, and I thought it was just very good, very action heavy, a lot of great combos back and forth. It was actually a really great and interesting duel, and I'm very happy that I really enjoyed it. I think I watched it twice raw, and then I also watched it subbed. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. Now, it may not have been as great as the previous episodes in terms of like big plot and story development in some ways, but overall it was still an amazing episode to me, and it was just really great. But yeah, we'll just get right into it so we could talk about it. So the episode starts off where we see Leo, and one of the guys is telling him that the machine is at 50%, and then Leo is on his chair. Something happens to the chair, and there's like he like ends up levitating on the chair somewhere else, and he falls back to where the Arc 5 machine is, and then the walls close in, and it's a weird scene to describe. I don't know what he was sitting on, but it was like this machine thing that kind of levitated his chair and a part of the ground. It was kind of weird and funny how it happened. But yeah, so that's what happens there. Leo says that there's no turning back from this point on, and then all the U girls, they faint. Now that the energy is at 50%, I guess now it's really activating. Ray's about to be revived soon, so all the girls faint, and that pretty much ends it with that part. Then we cut to Yusho, where he's going through Academia trying to find Yugo and Yuri, I suppose. He never said that's what he was doing, but I guess that's what he's doing. And he wants to go stop them, so he ends up running into Kaito and Edo. Kaito and Edo, tell Yusho that, oh, something's really wrong with Yuya. I think the doctor might be behind it. And then Yusho says, oh no, the doctor has nothing to do with it. You're all wrong. He's actually an alter ego of Zark, and all the U-boys are all alter egos of him, and he's trying to be revived, and that's not really Yuya and all that stuff. Hearing this, Edo pretty much offers to go help Yusho, and he ends up running off so that he could go and save Yugo from Zark, from being possessed or whatever, because he remembers that he's trying to save Rin, and now that he's in this position, he really wants to go and help him out, as well as also help him out because of Yuya's words, and show the entertainment style dueling, and dueling for smile. Well, not the entertainment style dueling, but the whole egg owl thing, dueling to make people smile and all that stuff. So he goes off, Kaito goes off after him. So then we go back to the duel with Yugo and Yuri, and Yuri pretty much commands Star Venom Fusion Dragon to attack Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and using some trap that Yugo had, he was able to protect his Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon from being destroyed and give him an extra 500. I believe his turn ends after that. He just sets a card and ends his turn. And then Edo and Kaito come in, and they enter the duel to get an intrusion penalty. And then Kaito decides to go first. Throughout the entire time, Yugo is trying his best to try to stop Kaito from summoning his Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. So Kaito's trying to summon it, and he ends up stopping the first time, but Kaito had another strategy just in case if that one didn't work, so that he was able to summon it. So then he ended up actually summoning into Cypher Dragon like he planned, and Yuri even pointed out that was a really calculated move, like masterfully calculated or something like that, and he kind of compliments him in that sense. So then Kaito tells Cypher Dragon to attack Yugo. And I believe that Cypher Dragon didn't have enough attack points to get over him, because Clearwing had 4,000 attack because he negated one of Kaito's monsters and it had 1,000 attack, so he was at 4,000, and Kaito activated this quick play spell card that switched the attack and defense to try to get over it, and I believe that didn't work either, so that kind of ended up being a flop. But then Kaito ended up activating a quick play rank up magic, a different one, and ends up ranking up to summon Neo Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. And then he uses Cypher Dragon's effect, attaches his materials to take control of Crystal Wing and Star Venom Fusion Dragon onto his field. So now Kaito owns it, and he pretty much set up the field so that when Edo's turn comes, he can go in and he doesn't have to worry about these two dragons being in the way, and he could just try to, get over them and whatnot. Then it becomes Edo's turn. He draws a card. Then there's a moment with Sora where he has a flashback of a confrontation that he had with Edo. They were walking through the academy hallways and they cross paths, and Edo turns around and he tells him, "Hey, you're Shuin Sora, right? When you graduate, I want you to be under my wing, under my leadership or whatever, and I want you to be a part of the military, the army or whatnot." Sora denies him and says that, "I don't want to be a part of the military. I work by myself," and he pretty much says that that's the reason why he decided to go to the standard dimension. Way back in the beginning of the series, why he was alone when he was doing that. He decided to do that on his own because he doesn't want to work with others. He doesn't want to be, I don't know, he doesn't want to be told what to do and this and that. He's like a lone wolf and he likes to do everything on his own. So that's what he goes off to go do by himself. I believe he also says that Edo has a lot of great talent or natural talent for dueling, and he's kind of implying that he's better than him, or he's stronger than him, or more talented than him at dueling, and that's why he became a commander and whatnot. So he's pretty much hoping that Edo will be able to stop this. So continuing on, so then Edo activates polymerization to fuse two of his D hero monsters to summon Dystopia Guy like he usually does. Then he activates Dystopia Guy's effect to deal damage equal to one of the materials. I believe Yugo activates his trap card, this Shuriken trap card. I believe that reflects the damage back at him. Back at Edo. I believe he took that damage, and that was that. Then Edo activates a spell card, some D hammer or something, to discard a D hero. No, to equip a D hero, from his hand onto the Dystopia Guy to lower his attack points to trigger off his effect, which would allow him to destroy a monster on the field. So he targets Yugo's Speedroid monster, and then since it was destroyed, the trap card, the Shuriken trap that Yugo has, gets destroyed because he doesn't control a Speedwood monster. Then Edo tries to help Yugo remember about Rin, and he was saying, "Oh, don't you remember Rin? And you're trying to save her and this and that." And Yugo does end up kind of recalling her name, and he's like trying to remember, and it did strike a chord in him. And Edo pretty much seemed that there's a side of Yugo that's still there, that still remembers, and he's trying to get to that side of him. So then it's Yugo's turn, and he summons this new Speedroid monster, this magnet one, and it has an effect where you're allowed to use your opponent's monsters for synchro materials. So he tunes that magnet with Clearwing Synchro Dragon, which is on Kaito's field, and then he summons Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Then Clearwing attacks Dystopia Guy. Edo does his usual Demise Urban combo, I believe increasing or decreasing the attack of Dystopia Guy by 100 to trigger off his effect to try to destroy Clearwing. Clearwing's effect activates to negate Dystopia Guy's effect. Then Kaito comes in, activates this, I think a trap card, which protects a monster from being destroyed by a card effect once per turn or something. So he does that to protect Edo's Dystopia Guy. Edo and Yugo are pretty much going back and forth, activating their card effects, countering each other, and Yugo tried his best to counter him, but I think Edo pretty much had the upper hand there, so he was pretty much kind of really on the zone in this episode, and you could tell he was trying his best, and he was actually kind of besting Yugo in one way or another. Then he activates D Fusion, which allows him to fuse Dystopia Guy with another D hero monster, which was Dream Guy, which was in the graveyard. That he was able to bring back by negating the effect damage that I believe Yugo was trying to deal to Edo with some effect. There was a bunch of cards and effects going back and forth. I don't remember all their names and everything that they did. I just remember there was a lot of countering back and forth. But anyway, he fuses Dream Guy with Dystopia Guy and summons this new Destiny Hero fusion monster, and it's called D Hero Dusk Utopia Guy. Now Edo has this new amazing D Hero fusion monster that has 3,000 attack. It's a level 10 and has a very defensive effect. Its effect is that once per turn you can't be destroyed by battle and you take no damage. And then another effect, you could target one monster on the field and that monster can be destroyed by battle or card effects that turn, and I think you take no effect damage. So something like that. But it's a very strong card, very defensive effect that you can definitely stall very hard with that. I really like that card. I think it's a really cool and unique monster. It doesn't have a head. It just has like that D thing, and I think it's a pretty unique and different design. I'll give it that. I really do like it, and I was really happy to see Edo achieve and summon this new D-Hero Fusion monster, this new boss D-Hero Fusion monster, the evolution of Dystopia guy. And it was just so great to see that, and I really wish that Asuka had that moment when she was facing Yuri by herself, and it's a shame because I wanted her to get a new evolution, or at the very least summon her original ace, which was Cyber Angel Vishnu, and then hopefully maybe evolve it, but she never got that chance. She just summoned a couple new level 5 rituals, and she did a good job, but Yuri was mostly toying with her throughout the entire episode. So she didn't get as much respect as I would have wanted, but at least they gave it to Edo here in this duel, and they gave him a new monster. And after he summons this new monster, Edo goes on a righteous speak about finding the light in the darkness and saving Yugo from, I guess, the darkness that's inside of him, and will bring light to this dark world or something like that. He went on a nice righteous little speech and whatnot. And then Clearwing attacks, but Dystopia guy activates its effect, which like I said, allows him to not take any battle damage or be destroyed by that battle. And then Dystopia guy is glowing, gold and whatnot, and it's like covering the whole field, and Yugo's looking up at it. Everybody's looking at it, and Yugo's looking up at it, and it's kind of having this very weird effect on Yugo. That golden light is having this strange effect on him, and for some reason Yugo ends up fainting, and then he actually ends up waking up. He comes back. He's his true self now. His eyes aren't glowing anymore, and Yugo was able to come back thanks to Edo's new monster, his new Utopia monster. If you get that cool funny reference from the fact that Hope's name is Utopia in English dub. So that was really cool, and Kaito even commented on that, like, oh, it went from dystopia to utopia. So that was really cool. So that was awesome. I really loved how that monster played a kind of big role in waking him up. It had this very kind of mesmerizing, hypnotic effect on Yugo that was able to wake him up. I thought that was really cool and really awesome. And Yugo comes back and he says his usual cliche line. Edo was calling out after him, Yugo, Yugo, and then Yugo says, oh, my name isn't Yugo, it's Yugo, or what was it, Yugo ne, Yugo na, something like that. But yeah, I love that little joke. Never gets old to me. I love that. So I believe Edo ends his turn after this, and then it's Yuri's turn. He draws a card from his deck, summons a Predator Plant monster on the field, and he activates Super Polymerization to fuse that Predator Plant monster with Star Venom Fusion Dragon, which Kaito stole from him. So he does the same thing Yugo does and takes the his monster back, and then summons a new monster with it. So then he fusion summons a new fusion monster, which is Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon, the evolution of Star Venom, and that monster is a pretty cool card. I actually do like his design. I think it looks pretty cool. It looks better than how it looks on the card, which is interesting because with Star Venom, I like how he looks on the card better than how he looks in the show. It's interesting how it works in reversal like that with me. But it has a cool effect which allows him to, I think, target a monster on the field, decrease its attack to 0, and negate its effect. And so he tries to do that to Dusk Utopia guy to negate him and drop him to 0. And then Yugo protects him with Clear Wing's effect and negates Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon and destroys it. And it's funny because we just saw this monster, now it's already destroyed, but now because it was destroyed, his real devastating effect now activates, which is when it's destroyed, you get to destroy all monsters on the field, and each player takes damage equal to the destroyed monster's attack. So all 3 of them would be losing because their life points are all underneath how strong all their monsters were and whatnot. Then Edo realizes that, oh no, we're all about to be knocked out, and he realizes Dust Utopia's effect is you could target one monster on the field, and that monster cannot be destroyed by by card battle or card effects this turn. So he has to make a decision, which monster does he save? And then he's contemplating there for a second. He's like, oh, the monster I choose is, and then there's a pause, and then Kaito looks at him and he nods at him, and I love that cool moment, that bro moment. They're like, yo, don't worry about it, you don't gotta protect me. So then, you know, he targets Clearwing Synchro Dragon, and then Kaito's Neo Galaxy Eyes and Dust Utopia guy, they were destroyed. Then Edo and Kaito took the damage and they lost the duel. And Yugo was the only one left in that because he was protected. Yugo pretty much says that, oh, I'll repeat myself again. I will defeat you. I'll beat you up. Whatever. He says something simple like that. And that's pretty much how the episode ends, with a shot of Yugo being serious. Like, oh, I am going to defeat you no matter what. So that's the episode for you guys. And a couple other little tidbits. I know there was some stuff I missed out with, like Yusho and Edo. How Edo had the Smile World card in his hand, the half part that was ripped, and he had it the whole time, and Yusho recognized that, and he can't believe that he kept that all this time. He actually cares about that card, or what that card means to him now. And you know, throughout the episode, Edo was going on about about what Yuya did and how he showed him the other side of dueling, and he's pretty much fighting to show Yuya's Egao style dueling. And you know, it was just really cool seeing him kind of defend this new belief that he now has. And you know, I know people have their complaints about how that went down, but I thought it was a really nice way to close that and show how much he's grown, how much he understands. And you know, and Edo did a fantastic job in this duel. I'm not going to say too much about Kaido, because Kaido does what he always does. He summons his overly brawling Cypher monsters, and he just does what he does. But interestingly enough, Kaito actually lost this duel, which is pretty interesting, because we haven't seen him duel. I mean, we haven't seen him lost in the entire series so far. So the fact that he finally lost here, it was in a weird situation. It wasn't a one-on-one. But yeah, it was really cool. I really love seeing the combos and the strategies between Kaito and Edo. And Kaito was really, you know, backing Edo up a lot throughout this duel, and you know, they were just really helping each other out. I really loved the teamwork between them. I thought it was really well. It was kind of nice seeing these two characters, one Zex, one GX character. You know, even though I know these are alternate versions of them, still just nice to see those two together and working together. It's just kind of weird. But it's cool, and I loved it. But yeah, the next episode is pretty much going to be about, according to the preview, it's going to be a Reira versus Reiji duel, and apparently Rei's spirit kind of shows up, and Reira is pretty much fighting for the wishes of Rei, telling Reiji, oh, you know, you have to listen to me, and you have to, you know, raise your older sister too, and she doesn't want Zark to be revived, and you have to stop it. And the weird part about this preview is, like, I feel like I don't understand why they're dueling, because they're both fighting for the same purpose. Because Reira's fighting to share Rei's feelings and to tell him that, oh, you know, try to prevent the resurrection of Zark is pretty much what he's trying to get at. But Reiji is also trying to do that too, but he's trying to make it so that the four dimensions aren't combined together. So I feel like they're both fighting for the same purpose, so I don't know why they're really dueling, because by stopping the machine and by stopping the fusions of the four dimensions, Zark won't be revived, you know, in one way. So I feel like it's kind of confusing as to why they're really dueling in the first place, because I feel like they're really fighting for the same cause. But I'm still curious to see how that's going to happen. I hope to see more of the Yugo and Yuri duel. I don't know if that's going to be a focus at all in this episode or in the next one, but I really want that duel to close out just one-on-one. Just really enjoy it. And yeah, so that's the episode review for you guys. It was a really fun episode. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and I really loved it. I really did like it a lot. It was really great to me, and I thought it was a nice action-heavy duel, and I loved it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for everything. God bless you guys. Thank you. Gotcha!
Peggy, what are you, Marco? What is Genderam Dragon?